Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first episode number 1 of the podcast. Today we have Mikko Saarinen, CEO of Nordic Recruitment and Consulting. Hey, Mikko, how are you?
I'm doing fine. Thank you, Kasper.
Okay.
How are you?
Okay. Thanks. Doing good myself. Quite excited to have you. And before we start, I did some research on LinkedIn on you. And I noticed that you are from Finland, but you moved to Romania and you currently live in Romania. Was there any culture shock that you can tell us about? Do you still feel this culture shock?
I love Romania as well, but I live in Bulgaria.
Oh, I'm sorry, we have to redo it. No. Okay. Was it any culture shock moving into Bulgaria?
Well, actually, it's a long story, and it happened kind of step by step, bit by bit. I did my Erasmus in Krakow, Poland, and one of my friends there was a Bulgarian guy, and he was basically inviting me all the time to come over. Maybe 1 year, 1.5 years of that. It was March and still lingering winter in Finland, of course. So I decided to book the tickets to Sofia and had a week here. So that was the first encounter, and I was thinking that this is a country that I haven't been in a similar country before, mostly from the positive sense, and it was something different. I think that inside Europe, if you want to do some travel, I really recommend the Balkans. If you want something a little bit different and still to be in Europe nearby. Of course, Russia, that's a whole other chapter.
Yes, it is.
But so I came again. I had the chance to be one summer in Bulgaria. Actually, I was writing my thesis, so I took the chance. I was traveling around the country, which is a great thing, because now I don't have the time, and it's nice that I did it before. And it's a really beautiful country with lot of valleys, mountains, sea, forests. So you have a bit of everything. Very nice people. So very nice experience. And then I spent my last year doing my master's in Embassy of Finland in Moscow that winter. And I got the idea that there was also this Embassy of Finland in Sofia. So I wrote to them that I'm graduating. So I got this postgraduate internship here, and I'm living here ever since. I kind of decided to do this kind of lab rat guinea pig experiment on myself, and just try to what it would be to try and live here, and few years forward that led me to found my company, this IT recruitment company, and already almost 10 years on that path and 13 years in the country.
A lot, if you ask me, a lot. You mentioned that you need time to travel. I also think that you need money to travel and to live. Your IT recruitment company, Nordic Recruitment and Consulting. Can you tell us what it does, or is it that easy that nobody needs to explain it?
Well, the name itself it's kind of generic, and so it might need additional explanation. But basically, I had the chance to work here after my time in the embassy. I started to work as QA in the Nokia technical support here, and that got me into the IT world actually. And I saw all the possibilities there and the needs and demands, and realized that there are things that I could do also, like cross-border internationally, and I think that Bulgaria is a great place to found a company in general, for a number of reasons. And but it's IT recruitment company. It started basically by people in the office here asking me to find, can I find this and that type of people with these and these skills. And I started to think that why not to start to do it in more like big scale. So this then led me to put up the company, and back in the day it was a lot of hassle, because
I can understand that.
You need a license to practice in HR. So because there is third-party data, personal data protection laws, and so on. So it was number of state agencies, one by one. It took about half a year to get the license. 2 weeks to make the company, half a year for the license.
Nice to get the license, yeah.
Yeah, and but I have to say that this environment, putting yourself in the new environment, you start to look things. You start to absorb a lot of things around you and take notice of things in different way than if you would be just in your home environment.
Yeah.
And that's one of the factors. Another factor is Bulgaria itself. The quite big IT sector for a small country, and simply the way to approach life. It's much more entrepreneurial than in Finland, where people would be, people have quite good salaries. There is a very heavy social system, so you're not really worried if you're unemployed, and some people decide to live unemployed whole of their lives, which is, if you ask me, wasted potential. It also costs some millions for the state. As a side note. So it's here you don't have that kind of luxuries. So it's how to say, it was a good time to absorb new kind of influences, and I also think that when you are you go into new environments, you have to adapt, and then you start to build something new.
Yeah, and Mikko, I'm really when you were telling about first when you were working as a QA and the people reached out to you and asked you if you can find some people for them. I'm really happy that the growth of your company it was organic. It was natural.
Yeah,
that's something I'm really enthusiastic about. So that was 10 years ago. And 10 years later, there is a lot of companies, of IT recruitment companies on the market. Can you tell us, me and other 3 people that are listening to us, can you tell us what distinguishes your company? What makes the clients choose you?
All right. So first, please don't downplay yourself. I think that you have great potential also with your channel. But to the main question, so first it started really organically from, these companies had here this kind of referral programs. So there is some, bonus given to everybody who is bringing in new people. And I didn't know, of course, that at the time that recruitment fees that recruitment agencies take, these are quite different in the amount of money than the referral fees that the companies pay.
Yeah.
So that was also big step up, realizing that and then starting to implement that kind of practice. But I would say the initial demand was really organic, and there are some companies and some contacts that remain from that time. So it has grown partly due to these, simply contacts, person-to-person contacts. This was the original thing. And then the idea was also to start to do remote recruitment or remote projects to Finland, which didn't work out originally, but now later, yes. But it took some time. There was also this approach, I would say, that somehow here people are thinking more internationally from the get-go than in Finland. So that's one great thing. Like if you put up a company and you have the international approach from the start, this will be, I think, very good for the future. That you are not only focusing that you try to sell to local companies, but you want to go with the international approach. And I think another factor has been really the consistency. So I try to keep my working really consistent. I'm every day getting up, getting to work. And this is the thing that there are a lot of people with good ideas, but they don't put them into practice, or they don't test them out, or they don't have the, work habits necessarily from before. Like I think that you should have the good idea plus the good working habits which you have built before you put up your company. So you are able to keep going all the time, regardless of how many no's you hear per day and so on. And this has led also that the network has been growing, I would say, quite nicely throughout the years. So nowadays, having really big pool of candidates and companies, the recruitment itself, it has become in that way much more simple. Of course, the market itself is down since 2 years, so that's another story.
You brought up a lot of topics, at least 3 that I would like to explore deeper, and by the nature of conversation, we can only explore one topic at a time. I think I'm going to go with the cyber security in recruitment, in cyber recruitment. Can you tell us how do you see it now, Mikko? I know that COVID era, I think that before COVID and COVID was a great time. How is it in 2025? Are employers' expectations fair? Do companies expect fair things? How do you see it?
So, as a little background, I will just say that I got into cybersecurity recruitment, let's say, consciously somewhere in late 2020. First of all, out of personal interest towards the field. I like to take lectures and online lectures on the topic. Stay in connection with the local cybersecurity community here, and in general, just try to keep up what's going on in the technological developments and also what's happening in cybersecurity in the world. Let's say there are a lot of cybersecurity related events, which can be something that let's say they can be related into financial sector, the different wars we see going on, etc., etc. So I started to see more and more cybersecurity related positions at the time, and this kind of confirmed my focus towards this field, and I decided that this will be one of the core focuses of this IT recruitment company. And I would say it has been a niche market, let's say, all in all, and let's say at the moment things are going into direction that everything related to data and AI are the hype thing. And I think cybersecurity kind of had its hype moment 2-3 years ago. At the moment, the whole job market is still down, including in IT, and the layoffs continue. And simply, if I look at some cybersecurity roles, they're also clearly less at the moment than 2 years ago. So we'll see. But I think that the field itself, it will evolve even with all these new developments. So, with cloud, there is different types of cloud security. With AI, there is new types of threats to be dealt with.
Yes.
And I don't see that the field itself would go away, and it's being utilized very actively. For instance, in the not only in all kind of hacks and malware attacks that happen all the time, but also in events that make news, like how Russians were able to halt the operation of one power plant in Ukraine. When Ukrainians sent in their cyber team, Russians actually sent a missile attack to this plant, and that was showing how in traditional warfare you can combine cyber in quite smart or malicious ways. Of course, then I may take up the example of this pager detonation against which Israel did against Hezbollah. Of course, after the Hezbollah joined Hamas in the October 7th and 8th attacks, and that was quite something, because we talk about a very long operation that is combination of something like how FBI would be driving traffic into some dark web sites which are actually operated by FBI, and then running them for a few years without anybody knowing, and suddenly busting the people. So this was something like that, plus like zero-click hacking, maybe. I don't know the details exactly.
I think that the details remain hidden, because the FBI and secret services, they don't really like to share on the details, just to don't spoil them. Okay. Perhaps let me ask another question that is of my interest, and it's pretty simple. I know that companies have their own hiring department. What is the value added of your work that companies hire you? Why companies don't do it themselves? Can you explain us that?
Yeah, that's a valid question. I think that the first value is if you can kind of cut through the chaos that the HR departments are often in. Nowadays, they can get hundreds of applications for one role. If you can bring something on the table that is the exact fit, of course, you need to have somebody's ear to so that they listen to you and take a look at the candidate. So that would be what I would mention first. And of course, nowadays, if there is a client or partner company that is wanting to utilize our services, usually we can show a few relevant candidates in 1, 2, 3 days for them, and sometimes this is solving the whole issue. Oftentimes, also in the companies, they have been searching for some role for 6 months, 12 months, even or more, and they are losing money by not having this person working there. So, and they're losing also hours of the HR team. So people are not always thinking about this side of the question, that there is this cost for not doing something, not
having the right candidates in place and not having the right person do the job.
Yep.
From what you, I really like how you answer my questions, because they lead me to another question. And so from what I understand is that you are able to find good candidates and you are able to find them quickly. And you also mentioned that in order to propose a candidate, you actually need to have someone's ear in the company. That leads me to the question, do you have more inbound? Do people call you to say, hey, we need help, and we heard you're great because you were recommended by a friend? Or do you predominantly need to reach out to people and sell your services? Or is it 50-50?
Yeah, that's a very good question. For the inbound, I will separate it into, like, you can get referrals from work well done before. So, when companies or HRs talk to each other, they can recommend your services in this case, if they remember you, that they had efficient service. And of course, then there is the full, let's say, like cold inbound also, which happens by you having website, you having online presence, and then the company decides to contact you. So I would say it's difficult to put some percentage to these things, but I would say 50-50, and I think it's important to keep active also, kind of looking for the how to say, right placements to fill. And often when I see a company that I see that they're having trouble filling some role, and they get really few applications, because on some sites you can see the number of applications for a role. Then if it's some interesting position, I will simply pick up the phone or write to them and offer assistance, and sometimes the candidates even immediately. So this is, this is like cold calling or writing to somebody, and so this is one way. Let's say it's kind of like if you are able to help where it hurts, then it's higher chance that they will have the time to listen to what you're saying, what you're proposing.
I really like you, because you say, well, if you're able to help where it hurts. 100% agree. I'm sorry, Nico. I felt you wanted to say something. Sorry for cutting you off.
No, that's that's pretty much it. I can of course elaborate more, but I think that was the core of the message.
Okay. So let's move a little bit from recruitment in general to recruitment in cybersecurity, specifically that you've been doing for 4.5 years, almost 5 years now. I listen. You mentioned that in order to be a good recruiter, to be a good business owner, you need to have persistence. Is recruiting
100%.
100%. Is recruiting in cybersecurity requiring of something more than persistent? Is it different than recruiting to general IT?
Yeah, it's kind of niche inside a niche. Let's say, of course, cybersecurity, it's also umbrella term because different areas of cybersecurity, they can be really far from each other. So, somebody who is doing SOX auditions is doing very different work from somebody who is doing red teaming, penetration testing. So, there are the areas of cybersecurity can be really far away from each other, but there is the umbrella term cybersecurity, and it is a little bit different from general IT recruitment because you will see immediately that all the terms that you were familiar with when recruiting, let's say, developers and automation QAs, even infrastructure positions, which with quite many cybersecurity positions, they have some infrastructure element in them, and oftentimes they are even put below the category of infrastructure positions, which I don't think it's fully correct, because there is a little bit more in cybersecurity, and that's why there are these new interesting positions like DevSecOps, and so this person is on one hand DevOps with the infrastructure and automation knowledge, and on another hand they have also security engineer knowledge, and they tend to be highly valued by companies. So you need to get into this completely new area to understand what are all the terms inside cybersecurity, because they tend to be, for the most parts, minus many parts in infrastructure, they tend to be different than what you see in other IT positions. And of course, all the certifications, like what does it mean if a person has CISSP? Like what does it mean in theory, at least?
Essentially, it means that they had the time and money to take the exam enough times to pass.
Yep.
That's like at the lowest level, Yeah.
Yep. So this is now opening some discussions in my head with some candidates, but I will not go into those. So let's say you need to learn this new area, but the same, I have this rule, like you should really do your homework before you pick up the phone and you call the senior developer. So it definitely applies in the same way before you call the senior cybersecurity specialist. You should do your homework. So you should be able to discuss, at least on the basic level, the different technologies that they need to master in their role, because otherwise I don't see what is the point of you contacting them, because they will smell you out quite fast if they see that you are not actually grasping even the basic concepts, and you're not able to understand what they're saying. So this is like one of my biggest feedbacks to recruiters and HRs, to just do your homework before you contact these people. And let's say sometimes the recruiters and HRs, they're complaining how especially senior IT professionals sometimes like to be a little bit unpolite towards them, and you can really that's a factor. It's a feature, not a bug in the job, let's say. But you can really diminish this factor by doing your homework. So that's my message.
Yeah, it's when somebody see you, you put in the effort before contacting them. It's like the tendency to be rude just goes down, because you respect the person who did their homework. 100% agree, Mikko. A lot of times I'm contacted by people who I work in risk management, and they are offering me a role of vulnerability management, asking me if I can join the SOC team, or some other things that I'm even not aware of, you know. So yeah, for me, it shows when a recruiter contacts me about this, it shows that it's a waste of time, because I know I'm not going to take the job because I'm not qualified for it. So essentially, yeah. Okay, I think we hit two birds with one stone, and the target audience for this podcast are people working in information security and also recruiting for information security. You mentioned that the market is down, and you mentioned also other things. Do you have any kind of advice to people working in cybersecurity, or doing something, or recruiting? It can be any advice, one time I asked a person, and he said, just don't forget to walk out when it's sunny. And it's also a valid advice. It's not about information security, but it's a valid advice nonetheless.
Yeah, that's a very important advice, actually, when we think about just like holistic well-being. But for any recruiters and company owners, I would say that it's not the time to log out. It's the time to build new connections, something new into your offering, and to keep active, because I believe that from this kind of downtimes, or let's say times that are not so easy, those that stay active, you will be better positioned when the going is getting easy again. So that would be my advice for the entrepreneurs and recruiters. And as for the cybersecurity people, I just think that the same applies here, but also to keep on learning new skills. The threats are evolving all the time, and the job market is tougher than it was. So don't leave your job just without having some plan, but there is also the good side that I've seen a lot of IT professionals and cybersecurity professionals starting their own companies, and sometimes when there has been layoffs and they have been affected by them, they have started something of their own, which oftentimes has led into higher life satisfaction and income. So that's, there is silver lining to everything, and when one door is closing, another one is opening.
Opens. Yeah.
So, just this would be very short advices.
I really like your advice that in the time of when the markets are down, it's not time to log out, it's time to build, because that is what I'm doing right now, and that is what I will be doing for, well, at least until the end of the year, or I think I have concluded my research and decided if I want to go with the agency or not. Mikko, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for being present with me and engaging as well. So that was Mikko Saarinen. I hope that I pronounced the surname now. And that was Kasper.
Nearly perfect.
Nearly perfect. Aye. Thank you so much.